great friends.
You getting that sausage?
We are breaking down the Kardashians Season 4, Episode 3 trailer. Episode 3 of the latest season of the Kardashians will be coming out next Wednesday night, so we're going to break down the trailer. But before we do, I want to give you guys a couple quick thoughts as to what I thought in regards to the last episode. I don't know, you guys, I am starting to get let down again. I feel like the very first episode, I was very excited to see all of the drama. I was very excited to see Kourtney and Kim kind of rehash exactly what the Dolce trouble was and maybe hear even a little bit more. But now I feel like this latest episode, we didn't see Kendall and Kylie. We didn't even really see Kourtney at all. We heard one phone call from her in regards to an interview that Kim was giving at one point during the episode. So I feel like there's a lot going on that we're not seeing, or maybe that the girls just are simply not showing us. But regardless, I'm really hoping that the pace starts to pick up. Right now, I feel like this show is being very safe. And as much as I love a safe show, I feel like this show was built on the idea of drama and sisterhood and everything that the family dynamic is that, you know, is very interesting to watch. So I'm hoping that we get a lot more divulging and a lot more honest truth throughout the rest of this season. So I will say, the last episode, I felt like, again, was very safe, and I'm hoping to see a lot more transpire with the next episode. So that's kind of where I stand. Let me know where you guys stand in the comments down below. But for now, let's break down the trailer for the upcoming episode of The Kardashians.
Next on The Kardashians.
Has it brought you just closer?
Him and I are great friends.
You getting that sausage?
Okay. So first of all, we see Kim. It looks like she's going to be in Milan and she's going to be fulfilling her Dolce & Gabbana contract. Now, as we heard in the very first episode of this season, we saw that Kim was trying to offer to Kourtney if she wanted to attend for a dinner that she had to basically fulfill her contract and obligations with. And Kourtney shot her down very quickly, and we saw that transpire during the phone call. So I don't know if Kourtney's going to really have anything to say in regards to her maybe being in Milan to be able to finish out her contract with Dolce. But regardless, I'm excited to kind of see it. It doesn't look like it's going to be a major part of the episode, but as we heard in the last episode, I feel like Kim is very much taking control over what it is that we want to view when it comes to her and what she wants us to see. So I guess we'll get to see Kim go and fulfill her Dolce contract. So we'll kick it off with that. And then my favorite part of this trailer is Khloe and Scott having a conversation. We hear Khloe being asked by Scott if there are certain activities going on between her and Tristan. And the fact that we're seeing Scott again, I think is very refreshing. I'm a huge fan of Scott. I think that he is like the outside point of view. I feel like he's the audience member representing all of us that are viewing this whole show. So I like that we're seeing him again. I love that he is having this conversation with Khloe. I'm kind of wondering if he's going to be able to maybe pull an emotion or two, or even a couple of pieces of insight out of Khloe that we're not getting from her, simply based on the fact that her and Scott are so close and they go back for so many years. I mean, at this point, we haven't even seen Scott with Kourtney. It looks like, in my opinion, maybe Kourtney doesn't even want Scott to be a part of the show anymore. We don't really know what's going on in terms of that. We only ever see him with Khloe or in a bigger group of people. So I don't know. I think that the fact is they're having this conversation. I feel like he's trying to get a little bit more out of Khloe than maybe what she's divulging. However, in the last episode, we saw that Khloe was very adamant about the idea of her solely being a co-parent with Tristan. And I really genuinely think that she's going to stand by this. I don't think a conversation on camera with Scott Disick is going to make her say anything that is going to go against the amount of times that she stated that her and Tristan are not together. So I think that this conversation is going to be interesting to watch, but I don't think that we're going to be learning anything new. So we'll see, but let's go ahead and let's take a look at the next.
My whole butt is out.
Don't it to my ass. It hurts so.
I just was dying inside, sitting up on stage, like feeling a breeze like in my ass.
Okay. All right. Well, Kim had some type of wardrobe malfunction. I can't really tell if, I guess those are just her pants that just ripped. Okay. So her pants ripped and she still went on and participated in this speaking engagement and this opportunity. So clearly the wardrobe malfunction wasn't enough to make Kim halt this whole opportunity altogether. I think it's funny that she showed us this. I actually do like the fact that she was showing us wardrobe malfunction and the fact that she went on with this speaking engagement. I don't know. I just think it's really fascinating though that she still went on stage and like sat there with half of her bottom half just hanging out as she's feeling quote unquote a breeze during this whole thing. I think that that's really interesting. I would be scared to death that somebody in the audience would be able to catch a glimpse at something like that because that's very interesting. But hey, I mean, the show goes on and clearly it did, and I'm glad that Kim's showing us this. I want to see more sides to Kim K. I do, and if this is how it happens, then I guess I'll take it. So, all right, let's move on to the next clip.
You're in a car accident.
Yeah, like I haven't been able to run around. I've gained weight.
There's good news and bad news with the MRI.
So I remember reading about Scott's car crash. They touched on it in the last season a little bit with him and Chris, and there was also Penelope who was present during that scene. I'm really glad that we're able to get more insight towards this car crash. I was so shocked when I saw that he unfortunately flipped his Lamborghini. However, they did state that alcohol was not a factor and that basically it looked like it was due to an excessive amount of speed when he flipped his Lambo. So I'm really hopeful that we're able to gain more insight and able to get more understanding of the story because again, I was devastated when I saw that Scott wrecked his car like that. So overall, it looks like it probably wasn't too bad for Scott. Now, the one thing that he did mention is obviously he stated that he gained a lot of weight and that obviously with that, maybe he's not able to work out. With that, also, you got to take into consideration the idea of mental health and all of that release that you get from going to the gym, yeah, in a physical aspect, but also in your mental health as well. So I don't know, he probably hurt his back. I'm just gonna assume maybe given for his age and given for how that crash ended up landing him, maybe he hurt himself to the point where he can't work out as much. So keeping all this in mind, I hope that he's not going through any mental health struggles, but at the end of the day, he probably is to a certain extent. I know that Scott is a retired party man himself too, so I'm sure he's not necessarily going out, probably finding himself more at home. And I mean, he's obviously watching Courtney thriving and everything like that as well. So who knows, maybe Scott's mental health isn't doing too well, kind of based on this and even just seeing how he looks right now with the sunglasses on and everything like that. I'm curious to learn more of this story, and I'm hoping that he uses this whole situation as an opportunity to become as vulnerable as possible with the audience and to give us just more insight as to how he's doing overall post crash, because that was a gnarly crash. So, overall, even seeing Chloe be present with Scott, I mean, she's got a new baby, she's got everything going on at home with Tristan, she's got the Good American situation going on where the stores are not opening on time or in time. She's got a lot going on. So, even seeing Chloe being present with Scott for this MRI, which can be, I'm sure, very scary. I'm really glad to see her there. And again, it just really adds to the whole idea that I think that Chloe really makes time for those that she loves. And I just love the fact that she's there and present with Scott because definitely an intense time. And I mean, you can tell by the look on her face, she's being tough for him. And I really appreciate that. I think that that's a really, really good testament to her character and to who she is overall. She is one tough cookie. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this breakdown for the upcoming trailer, for the upcoming episode. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments and let me know what you guys are maybe most excited for in the upcoming episode. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of last week's episode and just what you're thinking of this season overall. Again, I'm hoping that we see a little bit more Kendall and Kylie. I feel like they were really fun in the first episode. I was really connecting with them. I feel like even more than ever before. So I'm hoping that we see more of them. And I'm just hoping that we see more. I'm just really hoping that we see further into the Kardashians and their lives. And I hope that that's really what we get this season. So we're very early on. I'm not giving up any hope just yet. But I'm curious to know what you guys have to think. So again, sound off. Let us know what you guys are thinking down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like this video if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button and turn those notifications on so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.